Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I am your host Doug here with your video blog for January 14th, 2015. Great blog here for you today. Blog views are up 10% over the last month. Thank you for tuning in as you are so loyal to this great production of Doug Sports Blog and Grill. Got your New York sports update for today. We're also going to talk about a little incident, we'll call it. I think it's being overblown between LeBron James and David Blatt. We'll talk NFL playoffs and coaching moves, but right now I want to wrap up the college football playoff. Ohio State winning the championship against a very good Oregon Ducks team. And what I really saw in this game was just the Ohio State team is just littered with NFL talent. Just so much NFL talent on that field for them on both the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. And it was just an outright dominant performance by the Buckeyes over the Oregon Ducks. Even though the Buckeyes turned the ball over, they looked like the better coach team, the better prepared team, and they got it done and won that national championship 42-20. And remember, this team was the team that everybody debated whether they should even be in. Let's take a look at three guys from this game and what my take on them is now. Urban Meyer, I think this guy has to be considered the top coach in college football right now. I think he's doing better than Nick Saban. So I'm going to say he's better than Nick Saban. I think he's the top coach. He's now 9-2 in bowl games, and he just gets it done. Urban Meyer gets guys well prepared, has dealt with 3 different quarterbacks and got them all ready to go. Second guy, the Oregon quarterback, Marcus Mariota. What do I think of his draft stock now? I think his draft stock's the same. I said a few weeks ago when we started talking about the NFL draft that I thought Marcus Mariota would be a top pick just because somebody's going to need a quarterback. But I said the best situation he can go into is a situation where he can sit for a year or two and kind of develop his body, build up some strength, and learn how to make NFL-level throws. And finally, the guy I don't know the most about, Cardale Jones, the quarterback for Ohio State, the third stringer. He could go to the NFL draft. I think his draft stock right now is probably as high as it will ever be. I don't know if it's necessarily the right decision. There's going to be a logjam at that position. Maybe he should transfer. Maybe he should just go pro. We'll see what happens with Cardale Jones, but he's going to be behind Braxton Miller and JT Barrett, so maybe he should just go pro and see if he can do anything in the NFL. A very big kid with a very big arm. All right, let's talk NFL playoffs and coaching. I just want to give you my rundown on the 2 games for this weekend. It is Championship Sunday. The first game we'll see is going to be Green Bay in Seattle. This game will be right around 3 o'clock. I think this is going to be a pretty good game. I think Seattle will win this game. Rodgers, of course, will be out with the knee injury. Rodgers will play, but he still has that injury, so we'll see how that affects him. Seattle's a 7.5-point favorite at home. I will probably take Seattle by 4. I think this will be a game where Rodgers will have a shot, and I think Wilson will likely lead his team down the field late and win the game for the Seattle Seahawks as they will advance on to the Super Bowl, I think. And then Indy, New England, this game's going to be interesting. It could be a possible changing of the guard in the AFC if Indy can get past the Patriots. I think Andrew Luck has carried them as far as he can, and they will not get it done on the road against Tom Brady and the Patriots. I think Brady wins the game and his team advances on to the Super Bowl. So we'll have a New England-Seattle Super Bowl, and probably in that game, that's going to be just a little hint on what the line on that game might look like at the beginning. I'll probably say that line could be is probably going to be a New England favored by a field goal. But I would say that's pretty much a straight pick 'em for sure. All right, couple new moves in coaching. Rex Ryan, the new coach of the Buffalo Bills. He was seen yesterday cracking beers with Jim Kelly. So that's interesting. Rex Ryan, new coach of the Bills. I don't know if it's a great move. I think Rex is not going to be able to develop an offense. I would have liked to see him go to the Falcons where they already have a quarterback established, but we'll see what he can do for the Bills. The New York Jets make 2 moves as they sign Mike Mackin to the GM job. He was the Houston Texans college scouting personnel guy. And then they also bring in the defensive coordinator of the Cardinals, Todd Bowles. And I like this signing over bringing in a Dan Quinn because I think with Dan Quinn in Seattle, Pete Carroll's really the defensive guy. So really, how much does Dan Quinn do? With Todd Bowles, he comes from the Bruce Arians system, and Bruce Arians is running that offense. Todd Bowles is really running that defense. So Todd Bowles, new coach of the New York Jets. And according to sources, the Raiders are close to a deal with Denver Broncos defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio. They're likely to bring in Jack Del Rio as the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. I think this is a good move. I was surprised Jack Del Rio wasn't getting interviews earlier on in the situation, but we'll see what happens. It should be good if he can get into that job with the Oakland Raiders. He does have a capable quarterback. All right, time for the controversy of the day, and this is just, I think this is just laughable. So last night in the Cleveland Cavaliers loss, LeBron James came back. Cleveland lost to the Phoenix Suns 107-100. But that is not the biggest deal on the game. On Tuesday, James came in contact with David Blatt, the coach, shoving the coach back toward the Cavs bench when Blatt came between James and a referee to argue an offensive foul call against James in the second quarter. James said after the game, I got called for an offensive foul, and they said I hooked one of the Morris twins on a post-up when he grabbed me. It was a referee that was away from the play who called it. I was talking to Eric Lewis, one of the other refs, and Coach Blatt was getting a little too fired up about it too, and he was on his way to a technical. So I just got him up out of the way before he got a tee, so just protecting my coach. Yet Blatt said after the game he was just trying to keep me from getting a technical foul. Okay. I don't think this is a big deal at all, okay? I think what we see here is we see a lot of emotion in a game, okay? The NBA is a very emotional game. David Blatt and LeBron, of course, have not seen eye to eye, and this is where the story is coming from. The media is making this story come out of David Blatt and LeBron James don't get along. Okay, let's find something. First off, okay, LeBron James. Let's just take a look at LeBron James for a minute, okay? LeBron James is a monster, okay? LeBron James is a big dude, 6'8", 250, okay? David Blatt is probably about 6'2", and he probably weighs about 190 pounds, okay? So LeBron's big, so if LeBron touches him, he's going to move somewhat, okay? So I think they're taking the shove way overboard, and I think what we saw here was literally just LeBron keeping David Blatt from getting a technical in a close game so LeBron can still make some plays and try to get his team to pick up a W. Making nothing of it, moving on. LeBron and David Blatt have issues, but this was not anything more than it looked. All right, time for your New York sports update. The Syracuse Orange last night beat Wake Forest 86-83 in overtime. Rakeem Christmas, 35 points and 9 rebounds. They are now 4-0 in conference play. They play again Saturday at Clemson. New Jersey Nets owner Mikhail Prokhorov wants to sell the team. He is ready to sell the team after 5 years of not winning a title. He bought the team in May of 2010 for $223 million, and they will sell for a lot more than that. And finally, the Knicks back in action tomorrow. 5-35 is their record. They play in London against the Bucks tomorrow. That is at 3 p.m. All right, thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I'll be back on Tuesday, more likely Wednesday. I'll be back next Wednesday as we will get to start talking Super Bowl. We'll talk NBA. We'll talk NFL coaching. We'll do it all. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I'll see you back here next week. Have a great weekend.